What's good, y'all? What's good, folks? What's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah, what's good? Um, I usually don't do these video posts unless it's something important. Today's one of those days, most definitely. Today, we elected our new president, President Joseph R. Biden, and our new vice president, Madam Vice President Kamala D. Harris. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, no. Keep it, no, keep it together. Whew. And so y'all know, I know the news circuits have been going and going and going, and one of the things I've had to do is I've had to be very selective on what news outlets I was going to really pay attention to. So I've been on Associated Press and NPR this entire time because there's been just so much purposeful misinformation, disinformation put out there. And the moment I got the alert that the election has been called for Joe and Kamala, I went into my daughter's bedroom. And my daughter being born of the two parents that she has been blessed to have, she really had very little choice of being politically aware, very active, and very, very clear about what she thinks and what she feels. So I went into her room and I told her that we have a new vice president. And yes, I mentioned the vice president first because the vice president looks just like my daughter, and that we have a new president. And the first thing my baby did was she took the deepest, longest breath. Now, she's only 10 years old. And within her 10 years, the past four in particular have been astonishingly damaging in a number of ways. Yeah. And within that time, there's been a lot of traumatic buildup. Not just from the current political climate, but the political climate hasn't helped. And her being only 10 years old and having to talk to 12-year-olds about Black Lives Matter and having to explain to them that living, breathing human beings are more important than their parents' taxes has been a lot. And I watched her take a deep breath, and I felt myself take a very deep breath, and then I sat with that. And I'm not saying that this historic win isn't worth celebrating. It is, and we're probably going to do that later. But the importance of taking a breath, pausing, hearing our own thoughts, or just giving our bodies and minds a minute to rest, especially given our connection to the collective trauma that we've all experienced, whether we acknowledge that we've been through it or not. There's some people who are still in sort of this trauma-induced coma and haven't realized what it has been like in this country. But what I'm hopeful about is that we will be able to not get sucked into what Sonia Renee Taylor coins white supremacist delusion, or just plain old white toxicity, and be able to not run into these spaces of self-destruction and community destruction solely because we assume that we have lost something. Taking a minute to breathe, to realize the fact that we're still here means that we can create anew. The fact that we are still here and have the honor to breathe on behalf of those who we have lost in traumatic ways, through police violence, through COVID, through any number of painful, traumatic ways. What does it mean to breathe and to regroup? And I know that there are some amazing, absolutely amazing warriors who have been out there fighting this entire time, who will keep on fighting, who are worn out by fighting, and won't stop fighting until there's nothing else to fight. At the same time, make sure that you're not fighting yourself. Fighting the ability to just take a long breath and reconnect to your humanity. We have a lot of work to do, even with this win. And one of the issues that comes up in my mind is, how can we help those who feel like they've lost something realize that this is their win too? What are we committed to doing in our own lives to make our lives better, to support others in doing and creating a better world? What are we committed to not doing in order to not be destructive? Because we all have destructive tendencies. I'll tell you right now, I know I do. And how do we acknowledge those moments and still keep on pushing forward to where we don't self-destruct and destroy others? What does it mean to live in this moment where change is possible? Just a few questions. Just a thought.